Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Deepali Khetrapal. I'm a teacher, mentor, and an NLP master practitioner. I'm here to discuss with you certain core values which may seem small but play an important role in achieving success in life. Do hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss upcoming episodes. We will be discussing the meaning of these values through various examples and stories and how we can imbibe these values and make them a part of our life. Here's a story about a customer at a breakfast shop. There was a breakfast shop near a stadium. Many people would go there for breakfast. Once a customer who used to go there noticed that a person came in when it was crowded, and taking advantage of crowd after having dinner, he left secretly without paying. Next day, as the person was eating, that customer secretly told the owner of that breakfast shop about him. On hearing that, the owner of breakfast shop smiled and said, "Let him go. We will talk about it later." As usual, after having breakfast, that man looked around and, taking advantage of the crowd, he slipped away silently without paying for food he ate. After he left, the man asked the owner, "Now, tell me why you let that man go?" The owner replied, "Sir, you are not alone. Many regular customers have noticed him and told me about him. This man sits in front of my shop, and when he sees that there is a crowd, he secretly comes in and eats. I always see him but ignore and never stopped him or caught him, never tried to insult him." The customer was confused and asked, "Why so?" The owner replied, "Because I feel that the crowd in my shop is because of this man's prayer. He would sit in front of my shop and pray for shop to get crowded, because if this shop is crowded, then he can quickly come in, eat and leave. And of course, there's always a crowd when he comes in. I do not wish to invite misfortune by interfering between his prayers and God's acceptance of his prayer. I will always give him food and will never insult him or ask for money." What do we learn here? Compassion. Compassion is caring about others and behaving towards them with affection, generosity, and concern. Compassion involves feeling another person's pain and wanting to take steps to help relieve their suffering. The word compassion itself derives from Latin and means to suffer together. It is related to other emotions such as sympathy, empathy, and altruism, although the concepts have some key differences. Empathy refers more to the general ability to take another person's perspective or put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel the emotions of others. Compassion, on the other hand, is what happens when those feelings of empathy are accompanied by the desire to help. You are a compassionate person when you feel like you have a great deal in common with other people, even if you are very different in many ways. Being able to understand what other people are going through and feeling their pain. Being mindful of other people's emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Taking action when you see that someone else is suffering. Having a high level of emotional intelligence so that you are able to understand, manage, and act on your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. Feeling gratitude when other people express compassion for your own hardships. Compassion often comes in one or two forms, which vary depending on where these feelings are directed. Your experience of compassion may be either directed towards other people or it may be directed inwardly towards yourself. When you experience compassion for other people, you feel their pain and want to find a way to relieve their suffering. These feelings compel you to take action to do what you can to make the situation better. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same compassion and kindness that you would show to others. Rather than beating yourself over mistakes you may have made in the past, you feel understanding, mindful, and accepting of yourself and your imperfections. So there are a number of different steps you can take to show compassion to others. Speak with kindness. Apologize when you've made a mistake. Listen carefully and without judgment. Encourage other people. Offer to help someone with a task. Be happy for someone else's success. Accept people for who they are. Forgive people for making mistakes. Show respect. Express gratitude and appreciation. Be patient. When you practice compassion, you start by empathizing with another person's situation. You look at what they're going through without judgment and imagine how you might feel in their situation. Compassion and empathy share common elements, but compassion goes a step beyond. Rather than just imagining yourself in their shoes, compassion drives you to take action to help that person. Because you are able to feel those emotions so keenly, almost as if it is happening to you, there is a strong motivation to find a way to change the situation or erase the other person's pain. Compassion is good for both your physical and mental health. Not only that, it feels good to help others and can contribute to a greater sense of purpose and meaning in your life. While some people tend to be more compassionate by nature, experts also suggest that there are steps you can take to cultivate a greater sense of compassion for both yourself and others. Bring your attention to the situation. The first component of compassion is to become more aware of what other people are experiencing. Imagine yourself in their shoe. Being able to see things from another person's perspective can help you gain a sense of compassion for their situation. Practice putting yourself in someone else's place and imagine how you might feel. Focus on feeling how they might be feeling. Think and act from the heart. Another marvelous way to develop compassion is to think and act from the heart rather than the head. The head is the place for logical reasoning, analyzing, and decision making. It's very hard to be compassionate when you're thinking from your head. The heart is your emotional center. This is where all the positive emotions such as joy, love, and compassion come from. When you put your attention on your heart rather than your head, you'll be naturally more compassionate. Let go of judgment. Accepting people as they are and avoiding judgment is important. Focus on accepting people for who they are without criticizing or blaming the victim. Be totally in the present. A brilliant place to start is to develop the ability to be totally in the present. You're completely in the moment when you are not regretting things that happened in the past or worrying about things that might happen in the future. You're totally in the here and now. For this, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice of focusing on the present, becoming more aware of your own thoughts and observing these thoughts without judging them. Try loving kindness meditation. This form of meditation, also known as compassion meditation, involves meditating while directing kind, compassionate thoughts towards yourself or others. Practice gratitude. Another wonderful way is to practice gratitude. Notice what is good in your life, what is working out well, and the things you appreciate. When you're being grateful for what you have, you're naturally more compassionate to those people who are less fortunate than yourself. Learning this ability takes some time and practice, but it's worth it to keep working on flexing your compassion skills. Being open to feeling what others are feeling can help you create deeper, more meaningful connections. Acting on these feelings of compassion can benefit others, and sometimes compassion is its own reward. This is your friend Deepali Khetrapal signing off. Stay tuned, keep smiling, God bless.